All right, we are live once again. TikTok, YouTube, doing debates. As we do, I have the guest request pulled up. The Google Voice is on. So, folks, if you have something to say, make sure you're heard. And let's have that debate. Let's have that conversation. If you think that Donald Trump is looking out for the workers, I'm interested to hear why. I'm interested if perhaps you could change my mind. I feel like you're not going to be able to, but I would love to see it. I would love to see the attempts. I would love to have the conversations. This is the marketplace of ideas, folks. The mythical place everybody's always talking about. Folks, if you disagree with what I have to say, feel free to send in guest requests. Hello, Divinity Incarnate in YouTube chat. We're back streaming just because I feel like it. Bando says 15 days. Emojis. 15 days for you to get screwed by the president that you support. Now, if you think that he's not going to screw you, Bando, feel free to call in or send in a guest request on TikTok. It's your boy. It's true. We back. I want to play Fortnite after this. Actually, probably the main purpose of this stream is to play Fortnite, but you can't stream. You can't do a NathanGalang stream without some debates. It's kind of like a rule. Thomas Q. Payne says Biden is a traitor. Well, if you would like to talk about that specific subject, feel free. I'm not particularly a Biden stan, but if you want to talk about a guy that's leaving instead of the guy that's coming in, I mean, I don't quite get it, but that's your prerogative in TikTok chat. Folks, if you think that Donald Trump is looking out for you, if you think that he's looking out for the workers, if you think he's going to help the workers, I would like to learn how he's going to help the workers, and maybe you could change my mind. All right. Kami Wright, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm good, brother. What's on your mind?
So you think Donald Trump presidency will hurt America?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so which of his policies do you not agree, or what is your main concern of Donald Trump? Let me ask you this.
Well, there's multiple policies I don't agree with. I don't agree with the tariffs. I don't agree with his tax plan. There was analysis of his tax plan that found it's going to raise taxes on 95% of the bottom earners, only cutting taxes for the top 5%. The tariffs are inherently inflationary when you do across-the-board tariffs. I'm not principally against tariffs, but I want it specified and targeted. He's explicitly said he doesn't want to do specified and targeted. He just wants to do across the board. And that's inflationary. Not good.
And so you don't think the inflation would be temporary and adjust once the markets in America adapt?
You think the market in America is just going to adapt?
I mean, that's the whole point of the tariffs. It's not just...
Is there an example of this working out, though, in the modern context? Is there an example of moving away from the global economy, isolating your economy, and then suddenly everything just works out?
So it's not to say that the tariffs are only for increasing American production. It's also to send a message to certain countries, which can increase the standard of like laborers.
Do you think that
globally.
there's potentially better ways that we can increase labor standards across the world and increase manufacturing in the United States of America without doing something that's going to be inflationary and raise prices for regular workers? For example, let's say you want to do a tariff. Let's say you're determined to do a tariff, and you're determined to do a tariff in order to boost American industry. Why don't you do something like, I'm going to put a tariff on all Chinese electric vehicles to make sure that they can't enter the market and that the American-made vehicles are promoted. And actually, I'm also going to subsidize American industry to help make it easier to build a factory in America and to sell the product cheaper in America. These are specific things you could do if your goal is to boost industry that aren't going to raise prices of all goods coming in from a certain country. Now, do you think production will just suddenly be ready for that shift if, say, the tariffs were done tomorrow, that we're just going to make everything in America and it'll be fine?
No, absolutely. There would definitely be growing pains, and it would take a while for the industry to adapt, but I feel like over time it would, and especially with the pressure of the inflation from the tariffs, would cause the process to get done a lot quicker.
So Okay.
And you're
We
saying
would need
Trump
more
doesn't want to
wait,
provide.
real quick. We would need factories to build our products, right? There would be increased demand for American goods, so there would be an increased need to produce it. So I'm just kind of curious about this. How long will it take to build these factories, especially when you also consider that raw materials for construction are also going to be part of these tariffs, and therefore, even building the factories are going to become a more expensive task?
Because I'm not 100% familiar with Trump's tariff policy. You're basically saying his policy is to blanket tariff China, Canada, and a few other countries, correct?
Yeah, he's mainly talked about China, Mexico, and Canada, though he has floated around pretty much every country in the world, all imports. He's floated that during the campaign. He seems to have narrowed it down to these three countries, but the problem is these three countries make up about half of our imports in the United States, so that's a good portion. It's going to have dramatic effect, especially when you consider some of these imports are things like oil from Canada. That's going to directly raise gas prices, and timber from Canada. That's going to directly raise the cost of construction, raise the cost of construction, right? So, not great.
Yeah, so I would agree with you that a blanket tariff is definitely not a good strategy. I would say it should be more targeted, like you said, to specific industries that should be promoted, and have basically not. And I would say a blanket tariff is not the proper solution.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that we kind of come to an agreement on that.
And so you're saying Trump is just, once he gets in there, he's going to implement a blanket tariff, or has he listed out a strategic plan? Because I'm not too familiar with Trump's exact policies. Because I
Well,
don't I feel like Trump.
he's a bit of a mixed bag, you see, because from what I'm hearing from him throughout the entire campaign was how amazing tariffs are, and he's even floated around getting rid of income tax and just using the revenue from the tariffs to essentially replace it to fund the government. Now, tariffs, even if you put a tariff on literally every product coming into the United States, and let's just assume that the imports are not going to go down, even though they definitely would if we did tariffs on every single product, it wouldn't even come close to funding the government. So Donald Trump talks about the merits a lot about tariffs, about how great tariffs are going to be. But there's some people in MAGA world that just says the tariffs are just a negotiating tactic. Now, MAGA isn't really sure what it's going to be, and I think that's a concerning for people outside of MAGA, like especially because it's going to be these Trump supporters and the people around Donald Trump that's going to be making these big economic decisions.
So you would disagree that it's not strategical, like you just said, that they're using it, or you're saying people would be concerned because they're not the ones implementing the policy.
I don't think that Donald Trump, as a man, he doesn't value much things. He doesn't care about much issues. Policy wise, he's no policy wonk. He's very uninterested, uncurious. But when it comes to what he's passionate about, when it comes to politics, I think he loves the idea of tariffs. Now, it's very possible that those forces of capital are going to be like, no, we really don't want across-the-board tariffs, and they kind of pull the puppet strings of Mr. Trump. So it's possible we don't get those across-the-board tariffs, but I think if he were to just be... But he is surrounded by enough sycophants that if he were to really want it done, it can be done.
And you think he would be willing to implement that at the cost? I mean, because that's the thing. Trump has everything to lose. If the economy fails under him, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter at this point because there's no third term for him. So I could see.
I don't think he's too concerned about whether or not his decisions help or hurt people in the long run. You know, when he was president the first time, he exploded the deficit because he wanted to do tax cuts for the rich. And, I saw this interesting piece of information that in his first term, there was this chemical company. There's a specific chemical. I'm blanking on the chemical name because it was like some long-ass term, but it's a pretty dangerous one. It was linked to certain conditions, and it was not legal, and there is no safe level of consumption for minors. But Donald Trump got $1 million from the CEO of the company, and he deregulated, and there was negative side effects from that. Now, I can look at the specifics for you if you would like, but my point in saying is that, like, if he can make some money from it, or if it makes his donors happy, or in the case of the tariffs, if it makes him personally happy because he's so passionate about the idea of tariffs and trying to be William McKinley, I don't think he cares about the effects of the regular people.
And so why does Donald Trump have so much mass support? And everyone says that, a Trump economy is even if it's only in perception, that they would prefer a Trump economy.
I don't think he has quote-unquote mass support. He won the election, but other presidents have won it in much bigger margins, and I don't consider those presidents like leaders of a mass movement. Obviously, Obama won by a bigger margin. Biden won by a much bigger margin compared to Donald Trump. I mean, the amount of votes in the history of the country. But that doesn't mean everybody loves Joe Biden and thinks Joe Biden's amazing. They just liked him over the alternative. The thing with Donald Trump, I see someone in the chat saying this. He has a mandate. He didn't get 50% of the vote. He got more than Kamala, and Kamala was the number 2, so that's all he needs. But there was 50% of people, or 51% rather, around that, or 50 point something percent of people, that when they cast their ballot did not vote for the winner. So I wouldn't consider it a mass mandate. I think people were just unsatisfied with the situation of the economy mainly we're in today, and that's why they went with the other side.
And so, yeah, I kind of see it as a lesser of two evils scenario. And I feel like I spoke with somebody about this before, that the Democratic Party really has a big problem with social media promotion, because that's where most people get a lot of their news nowadays.
Yeah.
Because I really can't even think of
I agree with that, but we're going to finish up soon, so I guess any final points you got?
Yeah, I was just wondering if you know any, economic policies of Kamala Harris that you would agree with.
Yeah, I mean, when I did vote for her, I voted for the policy to build 3 million new homes, because increasing housing supply is a fundamental part for actually making housing affordable again. I voted for a National Labor Relations Board that would be friendly to unions, if not friendly, at least balanced, right? And allow people to unionize. I voted for FCC that would or FTC, the one with Lena Khan in it, that would actually regulate. And I voted for a continuation of the Biden manufacturing policy, because what we saw was 800,000 new manufacturing jobs and historic high public and private investments in the manufacturing construction that I'm not sure will continue, especially with the information, especially with the potential of tariffs making construction more expensive. But yeah, I'm curious what you think about that, and then we're gonna end off because there's someone in the guest request.
Okay, of course, yeah. No, I would agree. I will have to do more research actually into some of those policies, because I'm not 100% familiar with all the plans. But I see somebody here mentioning that. And this was one of the policies that at least I heard somebody saying, that she was offering basically a first-time home buyer credit of some X amount of dollars. I'm not familiar with that.
Some tax credit.
Because somebody said that
I wasn't against it. Yeah, I wasn't against it, but it wasn't really the main part of her housing policy that really got me on board. It was really the housing supply part.
Okay, because somebody had mentioned, I'm not specifically sure where, but they just said that would basically, lower the cost of housing for everyone. But I was just going to basically push back, saying that any offered credit, basically, or type of funding, that money has to come from somewhere. So everyone will just end up paying for it with taxes anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not my preferred way of making it easier to buy or own a home, the tax credit. I'm much more direct, build more homes and make it affordable, But with that in mind, I appreciate that you were civil, and I appreciate your time.
Have a blessed one. Thank you.
You too. All right, Zach Goat, I'm going to pull you in. It's loading. I think, is Zach there? Zach 35 Goat. Zach 35 Goat. I see you in the guest request, but it's not pulling you in. No, you're not here anymore. Are you still in the chat? No. Alright, Zach Goat, if you're still in the stream or still listening, feel free to send in a guest request again and I'll pull you in. Folks in the YouTube chat, let me check YouTube chat. You guys can call in the number. What's the number? 305-209-5560. Let's see. Divinity is the only thumbs up on his channel. Devoy, we on our grind, bro. If you hating on some motherfucker on the grind, that's on you. Hey. John Smith says, yeah, we have vets living on the streets. I think it's time we take care of our own. You know, you can... Oh, you're trying to claim that the houses were for illegals. Well, I don't think there was actually any part of that proposal that said 3 million houses exclusively for illegal immigrants. I don't understand why you are a liar. The Blaze says, new viewer, what did I miss? Well, I just had a call with somebody on TikTok. I have TikTok request and this phone number for YouTube viewers. We're doing some debates, and we'll have a great conversation. Was that a TikTok notification or a YouTube notification? That was a TikTok notification. JPO269, thanks for the follow. Folks, I'm not really seeing much arguments from the Trump supporters. What happened? Thought y'all were emboldened. But maybe you guys are tired. I don't know. Overdose Edibles says, this woman needs to shave. Why am I watching this trans woman? You into trans women? FP says, none of these liberals would take an illegal immigrant in their own home guaranteed. Yeah, I wouldn't take an American citizen in my own home guaranteed. But, you know, I do believe that we should have some more housing for literally Americans. And anybody that needs a home. Anybody that can pay for a home. What was that notification? Was that someone's username? Hold on. Mental health and the things we don't talk about. Subscribe to this channel. That's quite the long username. But shout out to you. Thank you. Brian says, why argue when we won? We know where this is going. Brian, you guys lost in 2020, and then you guys won in 2016, and you guys lost in 2012, and you guys lost in 2008. Politics is a continuous game. I don't think politics ends with a single election cycle. Jay says, January 20th, this madness will end. What, you think politics will end? Are we going to have a dictatorship? I know that's what you guys want, but... you are going to get screwed by this president after January 20th, and I hope you're looking forward to that. Let's look at TikTok chat. B284, whatever your name is. You are spamming a lot, and then you say a liberal can't explain taxes. I don't think explaining taxes is your concern. Film says, can't build homes when we keep letting people into our country and giving them homes. Yeah, actually, I think we can build homes while still having immigrants. It's actually possible. We've actually done it. It's My Talk says, enjoy peace and prosperity for the next 4 years. Do you think there was peace under Donald Trump? Because that takes a certain level of very silly stupidity. You gotta know. You gotta know. What was happening in Yemen? What was happening in Iraq? What was happening in Afghanistan? What was happening in Syria? What was happening in Somalia? X-Impa says, how do you get this? He was literally already the president and things were great. I disagree. And feel free to call him to the number and we can have that conversation. I think MAGA, though, is not willing to actually defend their ideas. And, you know, it's unfortunate. How did Democrats do with their campaign budget? How did Democrats do with their campaign budget? Badly. They took big money just like the Republicans. We should get the money out of politics for Democrat and Republicans. Russian 1947 says, what was Biden or Harris's biggest accomplishment? I like the National Labor Relations Board that made it a little easier for people to unionize. I like 800,000 new manufacturing jobs. I like that there was infrastructure investments. I like that there was insulin caps. I like that there was the CHIPS Act. I like that there was historic high public and private manufacturing investments for construction specifically. So yeah, those are wins in my book. Again, feel free to have a conversation. Feel free to have that debate. Don't be afraid of debate, MAGA. It's okay to have your ideas questioned. It's okay to hear the other side. Tim, I think you're thinking about other job numbers. 800,000 job numbers are specifically for manufacturing. And I did not see any revision on the 800,000 manufacturing job numbers. You got to take that to the Department of Labor. Kim says, well, a lot of people are hurting and they don't have tax money to give to other people. Do you understand? No, you don't. Have you been where the people can't buy food? I have. Kim, taxes have been getting lower and lower and lower, and you just voted for the guy that's going to raise taxes on the bottom 95% of Americans. Look it up. There's an analysis that looked at Donald Trump's tax plan. It's going to increase taxes on 95% of Americans, cutting taxes for the top 5%. Cutting taxes for the top 5%, I'm assuming you're not there. So, folks, if you actually have an argument, I want to hear it, folks. Come on. MAGA has fallen off lately. Because I remember a time where MAGA was all about debates. Debate me, bro. Debate me, bro. Debate me, bro. And I'm telling you, in the last few years, something happened. You guys, I mean, I guess the whole reason and logic argument, or that angle, you guys dropped it. You're uninterested in pretending like that. That's you guys. You guys are all feelings now. You guys are all, I'm scared. I saw this video and it really scared me. That's MAGA these days. And it's unfortunate that you guys have become afraid of debate. Feel free to call in. Jay says you refuse to read any logical arguments. No, there's actually multiple things being sent into the chat, so you can call the number and I can definitely hear your argument if you call in the number. Johnny says they aren't afraid, they're just misinformed. Very likely. Overdose edibles. You gotta spell your name right, or you gotta spell the words right. You're gonna learn on January 21st. You're gonna learn all about MAGA, little boy. What are you guys gonna do? I'm just curious. What is your perspective on what MAGA's gonna do after January 20th? Do you guys realize this dude is just like MSNBC and does not know how to say anything when it's true? And I can say that you're just like Fox News or OAN. Frankly, I don't even like MSNBC. They're too right wing. CW says I would really, but I don't think it would help anything because Trump's already won, baby. There isn't a debate anymore. Yes, there is, of course, always debates on ideas and policy. And unfortunately, you're afraid of it. I see someone called on the Google Voice. I'm going to refresh the page. Try to call again, 530 area code. Area code. Are you going to call? I see your number. So you just called. I don't know if that means you hung up right away, but I'm assuming you didn't call by accident. This person named Joe. So Biden wasn't a threat? Biden, I think, is flawed. I completely disagree with some aspects of his foreign policy, but was he a threat? Not really. 530 area code. What is on your mind?
What's up, man? I just wanted to say, sorry, I didn't think it was real. I was just calling to YouTube. And I tried to call, and it went straight to voicemail the first time. So I was like, oh, okay, not real. And I was went to go comment that, and you're like, 530. Oh, nothing, man. I just wanted to call and say, hey. And I saw your thing, and I was more interested in your opinion. I didn't really hear anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you got any specific questions?
I would say individually, how is he going to hurt you? Or anyone, I guess.
So his tax plan has been analyzed, his proposed tax plan, and what they found was it's going to raise taxes for the bottom 95% of the population, and that's not great. It's going to cut taxes for the top 5%, which isn't surprising. The tariffs are going to also be inherently inflationary, considering he wants to do across-the-board tariffs. Even if he doesn't do it for every nation, he just does it for Canada, Mexico, and China.
No, I know what you mean. It's still going to boost the inflation to a stupid fucking percentage.
Yep. So raising our taxes and doing the inflation is like a new tax, about $3,000 to $4,000 a new cost, according to some estimates. So not great for regular people.
No.
Yeah.
Do you think that it would be any different with any of the other candidates given?
Like with if Kamala won or something?
Yeah. Or, I mean, Kamala, Biden was coming out saying that he thought he could have won.
Yeah.
Think that it would have been different for anything else?
Well, I would have preferred a different candidate over Kamala or Biden. But, hold on, I'm going to put someone in the queue real quick because they're calling in. I'm going to pull you in after this caller. So, stay on hold for a bit, alright?
Alright.
But yeah, if it was another candidate, I think Tim Walz would have been a better guy on top of the ticket over Kamala. But, it was an unprecedented situation.
That's a fair statement.
Yeah. I think, overall, when you just compare Kamala, I think she just had a better list of policies. I mean, there was polls that would list her policies and list Donald Trump's policies, and they would find 80% of people liked her policies more. But then when they would ask who are you going to vote for, they would find a much more even split between Trump and Harris, right? So like, yeah. She had better policies. I think 3 billion new homes was great. I think if she could just continue the manufacturing progress, the manufacturing job progress, the manufacturing construction progress, the infrastructure stuff, if she built upon Build Back Better, I think that would have been wonderful. But unfortunately, she's not going to be president.
I just don't,
yeah.
No, but at the same time, I don't know how that plan was ever completely feasible.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been tough if there was, like, say, Republican control of Congress, which now there currently is. I imagine if she had won and, say, like, all those Congress and Senate elections stayed the same, and there had been a Republican control of both houses, it would have been tough to pass anything, because the Republicans, if they're good at something, they're great at obstruction. So, maybe it's a blessing in disguise, losing now. Donald Trump's going to fuck a lot of shit up, and then take back the House. And yeah. Go ahead.
My big point that I was just curious on, like, to me, watching the election, it showed something to me that a lot of people are just not talking to each other. Because I think that a lot of the people who voted for Trump, again, I don't agree with any of the candidates that were presented, to be honest.
Yeah.
I believe that it showed something that was like, hey, which was the same thing that happened when he was elected last time, which is this isn't working right. Like, we need something to change big, massively, and it's still just, I think the Democratic Party failed the people, personally.
Yeah, 100%.
There was a way for them to win.
I agree.
They're just like, no, we're going to cover our own asses and fuck you guys. So
that's the problem with Democrats,
like,
you know?
You know what? Fine, then fuck you. Like,
that's the problem with the Democrats. Like, they got to realize that when people are hurting, which people are legitimately hurting, you can't just do decent. You got to do great, you know?
No,
you can't do Biden. You got to do Roosevelt.
Hey, I mean, I was watching the elections, and I was surprised that they were like, you know what the problem is? You guys didn't come out and vote. And I was like, I mean, okay. If that's what you guys think, and you're just kind of making everyone else's point for you. Like, okay, whatever. Like, you guys got to do something too. It's not a one-way street. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah. Well, I think we're mostly in agreement. I appreciate your time. Thank you for coming on, brother.
No worries. Of course, man. I just want to see if this was real, and you have a great night. Bye.
You too. Thank you. All right, 989 area code. What's on your mind?
So pretty much you said, like, what's Trump going to do that's bad? Well, I mean, I know things that he's going to do that's good, like ban mentally ill men from invading women's spaces in women's sports so that women can enjoy their spaces that they fought for 100 years.
I think that his tax plan, hold on, there was a notification. I couldn't really hear you too well there. But his tax plan, it was looked into, it was analyzed, and it found that it was going to raise taxes on 95% of the bottom earners of this country, cut taxes for the top 5%. Of that 95% comes man, women, trans woman, everybody, you, me, everybody's going to get their taxes raised unless they're part of that top 5%. That kind of sucks in my view. He also wants to do the tariffs across the board. Not great, not very smart. There's no economist that supports it.
Real quick about the taxes. Can I talk about the taxes real quick? Okay, so great thing that we already had him as president for 4 years because we already know what he has done and what he's capable of doing in the future. So when he took office within the first year in my state of Michigan, I paid 34% taxes on average between state and federal, Social Security across the board. A year after he took office, why did my taxes go down to 21%?
Yeah, I can't speak to your specific tax situation, but I can look at the analysis. I can look. Well, hold on. I can look at the. I can look at the analysis. I understand that. I understand what you can have your own story. Wait, hold on. Yeah, I understand your story. I can't speak to your anecdotes. I can't speak to anybody's anecdotes, but I can look at the data. And there's the average federal tax change rate. Hold on. Wait, hold on. No, I don't need anecdotes. I don't need anecdotes. Data's not skewed. No, this is not biased data. This is just analysis of his plan. You can't get rid. Hold on. You can't get mad at facts just because you don't like it. You can talk about anecdotes, but when you're doing policy, you don't talk anecdotes. You talk data. Okay?
No,
do
Trump
you think
dropped taxes 13%
do you,
across the
yeah,
board for
do you
anybody
think
who made less than
do you think
$50,000.
hold on, do you think that when you're
Anybody
doing
that made less
excuse
than
me, hold on.
$50,000,
Excuse me.
Trump dropped 10%.
Excuse me.
10%
You
on
want to have a
taxes.
conversation? Do you want to
Everybody
engage?
saved instantly
Excuse me.
$4,000.
Excuse me. People
You
can't really
talk
hear
about
you
this $4,000
if you're rambling
difference
because
from-
I'm rambling too.
But
I'm
'cause you
gonna
won't
yap
listen to
too.
me.
So hold on.
But
We
you
can have
won't
a
let me respond.
conversation. We
You
can
won't
have a
let me respond.
conversation. You can have
You
a
won't let me
conversation.
respond.
Yeah,
Let's
let me
go
respond
talk
to you.
one topic at a time.
Yeah,
You won't
one
let me
topic at a
respond.
time.
You
We're
wanna
gonna
do
focus
3
on
topics at
taxes.
once.
I'm not changing the
You
topic.
don't
I'm
want- you
focused on
wanna
the
do
tax
3
plan.
topics at once.
I'm
Let's-
focused on the
let's stay
tax
one
plan.
topic.
Focused on the tax plan, brother. I just don't care for anecdotes.
Yes, he dropped.
Do you
he
think
dropped everybody's taxes
so?
under
Some
$50,000
So
by 10%.
I'm going to talk about the
You
data.
won't
I'm going to
address it.
talk about the practical effects, and
Address it.
you want to talk about your anecdotes, and that's okay. I'm not interested in your anecdote.
That's reality.
So there was
Anybody
an
under
analysis.
$50,000
No, there was an
Trump dropped
analysis.
taxes for. That's
There was an
reality.
analysis that looked at
Address
his
the
plan.
reality of it.
This was back
No, address
for
the
his
reality of it, 'cause
2017
it's very
plan,
disingenuous
and it
of you.
looked at the
It's
average
very
federal tax
hypocritical and
change in
disingenuous of you.
2025. Again, his tax plan is still present. His tax plan is still in effect. His 2017
Yes,
tax plan.
yes.
And they found that the lowest quintile, the people that make $0 to $27,000, only got an average tax change of an additional $70. The second quintile,
$4,000.
the second
I
quintile,
made
excuse me,
$25,000
excuse
when
me,
he took office.
excuse me. I'm not done yet.
You're not because
I'm
you
not
won't
done
let me
yet.
interject because you.
Yeah,
you
because
wanna keep
you're not
repeating yourself, and
allowing
I'm
me.
giving you-
You're not
I'm
allowing
giving
me
you a
to
valid
say
point you
data.
won't address.
You're not allowing me
I'm
to say
giving you a
data.
valid
You
point
want
you
to
won't
tell your
address.
anecdotes. I don't care about your
No, I'm
anecdotes.
giving you a
I
valid
care about the
idea that you don't
reality.
want to address.
And you're getting triggered about it. You're getting emotional
dude,
because
why are
you don't
you
want to
being
hear
like this?
data.
Why are
Why
you being
don't
like
you
this?
listen to the data?
I'm giving you.
I don't
on
care
the
about your
ground.
anecdotes. I don't
No,
give a
it's not
fuck
an anecdote.
about, oh
Anybody
my
under
gosh, you're on the
$50,000.
ground. Yeah.
Anybody under
You want to hear about
$50,000.
$50,000? I can tell you
Everybody,
about I can tell you what the second
Trump
quintile
helped.
made.
You're
So
mad
again,
that he helped the poorest
you're
Americans.
getting
You
triggered
can't accept it.
and you
You
don't
can't
want to
accept
listen
it.
to the
It's
data and
It's
you're upset
very
already
pathetic,
and it's
dude.
unfortunate that you're not letting me
It's very
speak
pathetic. You can't accept
and
that he
because
helped
you
the
don't want to
poorest
hear the
Americans.
data.
What about
You're
the
afraid to
Obama
hear
tax
the
credit
data.
that he took away? What
You're
about
afraid
the
to hear the
$700
you're
a year
afraid
that
to
he
hear the
took away
actual
from
data.
everybody's taxes?
And
the Obama tax
you're
credit
rambling
that he took
and
away?
people can't hear
$700 a
you.
year that
Can
he
people
took
hear
away
you?
from the
I don't think
poorest
people can hear
Obama.
you.
And Trump gave
People
it back
can't
to them.
really hear you. You understand people can't hear
Dude,
you when
because
you're rambling, right? People
I'm
can't
sure
hear you when you're
everybody's
telling
being
your
perfectly
anecdotal
fine
stories.
humanly.
People cannot
Dude,
hear you tell your
You're not
silly little
addressing how
anecdotes.
Trump took away the Obama
I'm
tax
talking
credit.
about the data, and you're not letting me talk
$700
about the
tax credit
data.
that Trump
You're
helped every
so
poor
desperately
American with.
afraid to hear me talk about the data. Why are you afraid of
I'm
just
telling you
data
data right now.
that doesn't?
Trump took away
Yeah,
the
no.
$700
Your
tax credit from
brother,
Obamacare. You won't
your
address reality.
personal anecdotes are not data,
It's not
and there's
personal
somebody
anecdote.
calling in,
Dude,
and
fucking
unfortunately, you can't.
Go put the butt plug up
Here,
your
one
ass
moment,
again,
one
'cause
moment.
you're
I'm gonna
fucking
put somebody in
pathetic.
the queue. I'm gonna put you in the queue, but stay on the line, all right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you about 10 seconds to calm down so you can
You're
actually hear the
pathetic.
data.
You're
1,
pathetic.
2,
That's all it is.
3,
You're pathetic.
4, 5,
Obama tax
6,
care credit
7,
took off $700 off of the poorest
9,
Americans'
10.
taxes.
This motherfucker didn't shut up. Listen, folks, if you don't shut up, you're gonna get dropped. If you're afraid of the data, you're afraid of the data. You're a bitch. You're a bitch. Somebody was calling, but they left. Also, a massage place called in. So, again, I'm going to list the data because it's really simple about the 2017 tax plan. Excuse me. This is the households with incomes, right? Average federal tax change due to the 2017 tax bill. The lowest quintile, making $0 to $27,000, made $70 extra dollars. The second quintile, 27,000 to 53,000, they made $390. Now the thing is, that second quintile, it includes half of all earners in the United States. So if half of all earners in the United States are making, let me be a little generous, about $400. Yeah, it's pretty clear that that tax plan was not for you. Now, unfortunately, people like the other guy wants to tell his little anecdotes, wants to tell little stories, wants to make it about me, and is deathly afraid of data because it doesn't help the narrative. You're a bitch to capital, sir. It's unfortunate. I see someone in TikTok chat says, Trump only cares for the rich. Exactly. And to see this guy was saying that he's in the bottom quintile. He makes less than $50,000 a year. And he's defending the tax plan that is for the billionaires with the passion, the fury that anyone could. Hold on. Hold on, I'm going to put you on hold for now because somebody else is calling at the same time, okay? Going to put you in the queue. 818 area code. You guys called at the same time. What's on your mind?
Oh, you picked up my call?
Yes.
Oh, for sure. Hey, I just wanted to call. I said I love what you do, bro. I just had one question real quick.
Yes, sir.
If it's cool, real quick. How mad were you when you realized that your party was wrong and that you lost the whole country and all swing states and the popular vote?
How are you doing on the 2020 election? Y'all rioted, right? Y'all did January 6th. Y'all said the election was fake.
Years old, so I don't care.
So you a jit. You a jit and you dumb. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to call the last guy. Hold on. I'm going to call the last guy here since they picked up.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Oh, they're not picking up. Dang FB6 followed on TikTok. Shout out to them. By the way, folks in the TikTok stream, especially I see here, Israel Santiago, I appreciate your support. You should also check out my YouTube channel. I'm also doing a YouTube stream as well. And the YouTube streams tend to do a lot better than the TikTok streams. The discoverability on YouTube is just different. It's just different. But MAGA, y'all are not sending your best, man. Y'all are not sending your best. What is this? You're sending a 15-year-old. Alright, hold on. 910 area code. What's on your mind?
Hey, boss. I was just calling in to say, hey, I love your content. Love watching you debate these guys. It's kind of funny.
Yes. Hold on. I'm going to put someone on hold real quick, okay?
Yep, go.
I'm going to put you in the queue for now. You're going to be on hold, but just stick around, alright?
Okay.
Alright, 910 area code. You were saying?
I was saying I love your content. It's actually quite amusing to see you debate these guys and kind of argue with them.
Yeah. If debates are anything, it's good entertainment, you know?
Yeah, because I never voted because I was overseas when the last elections.
Yeah. Well, are you back home?
Yeah, I just got back home probably like 2 weeks ago.
What's the transition like? It's a big change?
22-hour flight, 14-hour time difference from Korea.
Oh, were you deployed in Korea?
So I was stationed over there for a year.
Oh, were you there when martial law happened?
Yeah, that shit sucked.
What was that like for an American soldier?
It didn't really affect us. It was more so that we couldn't go off base for like a couple days, but other than that, it was fine.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, when the situation was happening, I was like, I wonder what the Americans are doing.
I was sitting in my room. I was sitting in my room and I was like, damn, the president's low-key getting overthrown right now. What the hell?
Yeah, well, last time I checked, I think they wanted to arrest him, and I think he had, like, supporters laying outside his house carrying, like, American flags or something like that. I don't quite know why they were carrying... I think the protesters against the president were carrying the flags of Virginia, the state of Virginia.
What the hell?
Yeah.
I don't know. Korea's always had a problem with us, though, because they think at this point that we're not necessary. They think we're an occupying force.
Yeah. I see.
So, like, when we're going out to the field out there, like, you always see people, like, with protesters. You'll see signs. For the longest time, we had to fly into fly into a field site because we'd take transportation and convoys out to our field site, and then there'd be people along the pathways and along the roads to the field, and they'd be like protesting, throwing rocks, doing a bunch of crazy ass shit.
Yeah. So like, are you, since you got back home, are you like, are they gonna deploy you anywhere else, or are you just like chilling now? You're like back to civilian life.
I'm on my new unit, so I'm getting ready to deploy again.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not gonna ask where you're headed because maybe that's classified. But hey, brother, I appreciate your time, and I hope you enjoyed these streams, man. I'm glad you called in.
Yep. Have a nice night.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah. Bye.
What a nice call. 303 area code. What is on your mind?
Hey, so I was just wanting to talk about tariffs.
Yeah. Wait, what'd you say? Wait, can you repeat yourself? Sorry, your audio is not the best.
Yeah, my phone's pretty fucked up. So I was just wondering what your thoughts were on tariffs.
Oh, on tariffs. I'm not a big fan of across-the-board tariffs. I'm not principally against tariffs. I think tariffs can be done right if it's strategic and targeted. I'm quite the protectionist myself. Unfortunately, the tariffs that Donald Trump is proposing is across-the-board tariffs, either ranging from every single import coming into the United States or every single import coming in from China, Mexico, and Canada, and China, Mexico, and Canada make up nearly half of all imports coming, including some pretty key industries, like when it comes to oil, when it comes to lumber, and so on and so forth. Of course, fruit, and just in general cheap goods from China, car manufacturing. So I'm not a big fan of what Trump's proposing because I think it's going to be inflationary. I think I saw estimates $3,000 to $4,000 of new cost for regular people.
So I buy a lot of my goods on AliExpress. Do you think I'm going to be seeing the goods on there becoming unreasonably priced now?
It's definitely going to be affected, right? I think it's probably going to be a lot more difficult. I know a lot of people that cosplay, like, for conventions and stuff, and I'm like, bro, get your cosplays now. Because whether you get it on AliExpress, whether you're getting it from Amazon, it's most likely being manufactured in, like, China or Asia just broadly. So get your stuff now. That's what I would recommend.
Yeah, so my thoughts on it is, so China has extremely cheap labor. We should honestly just take advantage of that and use that like China slavery in a sense.
Well, I wouldn't say we should take advantage of it. I want more building in America, right? I want there to be more factories in America. I want there to be more jobs in America. And I think through global trade, we could actually enforce, like, say, like, okay, you want trade with no tariffs, no restrictions. All right, we're going to sign a deal that requires certain labor standards to make that deal happen. Then I would be open to certain free trade deals. Other than that, I do want case by case, country by country, deciding what's good for the country and also very much for the workers.
When labor standards, do you mean like in favor of better labor standards for China?
Yeah, like not just China, but like, for example, with the USMCA/NAFTA, if we could make labor standards better in Mexico, I think that would be good for the Mexican worker.
Okay, well, I have to disagree. I think if anything, there should just be China slavery because, if it's not in America, it's not our problem. If it's out of sight, it's out of mind. And I think we should just take advantage of the Chinese laborers.
Yeah, I completely disagree with that, and I think you might be trolling a little bit when you say that. Maybe you're not. I don't know. But slavery is bad, and I think we can end it on that. All right, thank you.
No.
Folks, if you actually have an argument, call in and, maybe not do a pro-slavery argument. That's kind of cringe. Support Squad Andrew says, I recommend Democrats stop lying. I recommend stay calm, accept the fact that Democrats Biden destroyed the economy, destroyed my family. Biden destroyed millions of other families. I guarantee you, I'd be very surprised, Andrew, if Biden personally destroyed your family, okay? That would be a bit of a surprise to me, at least. Folks, are there any actual MAGA people here ready to argue, ready to fight for your cause, ready to represent this new movement in America? The populist right that I keep hearing about. The paleocons. Maybe even some libertarians. Or are you guys gonna support slavery and genocide and deny data because it's not your anecdote and makes you uncomfortable? It's unfortunate. We could have great conversations, but I think a lot of you guys are afraid. And talk with the other side. Oh, look at this, the massage parlor. Oh, I picked up and they hung up. Okay. 269 area code. What's on your mind?
Yo, what up, homie?
I'm good, brother. I'm good.
Man, I wouldn't even argue with these idiots. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I'm gonna give everybody a little piece of advice in this room that wants to run their mouth. I'm a business owner of 20 years. When 2017, 2018, Trump put tariffs on all of our building materials, and I'm just speaking just of building materials. Yeah. Our OSB, which was $15 a sheet, shot up to $80 a sheet. Houses that we were building went from, let's say it was a $500,000 house, to literally $1 million house because of tariffs. Well, I will tell you, as a business owner, I pass my tariff cost down to the customer. I have no choice. So I wish these people would understand tariffs, but they don't. They don't understand anything. They listen to what comes out of his mouth. Let them listen to it. Let them be ignorant. The American people are going to feel it just like we felt it in 2017, 2018. It's that simple.
Yeah, no, I mean, what's interesting is when I was in high school, I thought I was really big-brained and different because I thought of a great plan. I was like, what if we just tariff every good coming into this country? And I used to participate in high school debates, specifically the Congress event where we make bills. And I proposed that bill, and I got cooked for it. And looking back at it, yeah, I definitely deserve to get cooked for it. It's the dumbest thing.
Yeah, exactly. You understood it. It's just, they don't understand that. I'm going to tell you, I'm a business owner, and I hate to do it, but I have no choice if I want to stay successful and make the money that I make, pay my employees, my overhead. I pass the tariffs down, too, because the tariff is the company who's buying that, whether it's overseas, wherever, I'm paying the price for that. Well, guess what? I'm not eating that as a business owner. I'm not. So I'm going to pass it along and hope that I don't lose business, which a lot of people have, So it's like, they can cherry pick it, try to cherry pick what they want to, say he's said straight across the board tariffs. And here's the thing. There are companies that would maybe come back to the U.S., that maybe left because of tariffs, but a lot of stuff that we bring into this country, unfortunately, America can't make. And America can't afford to pay the workers and make a profit because of the wages that we pay our people. And it's sad to say, but we take advantage of other countries and their low rates to make our product and to send it to America. Not only that, there's a lot of product that just physically can't be made because we don't have the resources to make those types of products. So it doesn't make sense to argue about these fucking tariffs if you actually understand and have been hit by tariffs. As a company, I can tell you it sucks, but unfortunately we're passing this on to the next guy, which is the consumer.
Yep. And that's one of the things I'm really trying to tell people. If even the most basic shit, timber, just raw materials to build things in a time where we need to literally build more houses, in a situation where they're like, well, we'll just rebuild manufacturing. Okay, well, you got to build some factories, right? You got to repair some factories, right? We need raw materials, and you're going to put tariffs on raw materials. You're going to make that process of reindustrializing this country more difficult. And then, of course, they like to talk about, like, the mass deportations. 40% of all agriculture workers are undocumented. There's a massive percentage of construction workers that are undocumented. They're just trying to make an honest living. And they're like, yeah, let's get rid of the workers. Let's make the materials more expensive.
Yep,
So
unfortunately.
it's crazy.
I can tell you, where I live right now, I drive diesels, and our diesel price is right around $2.80, $2.90. Been like that probably for the last, I'd say, about 5 years now. Our regular gas, which my family uses and my employees uses, it's been steady at $2.56. So Once again, Trump said he's going to cut our energy in half. There's no way in hell the gas and oil are ever going to go below $2 ever under Trump.
Yeah.
Never will happen.
Yep. And then he wants to he's just, every time I hear, just drill, baby, drill. We're
producing more oil than we've ever have in this country, and our prices still ain't going down. Unfortunately, big oil and pharma own the fucking U.S., and it doesn't matter if you're red or fucking blue. They own us, whether you like it or not, and the people that are billionaires are going to keep those people that are billionaires in, billionaire status.
Yep, 100%. And, it's an unfortunate situation. But, in history, I will say, there have been situations where we have to go through economic struggles to sort of straighten things out. In the 1920s,
that's business.
Yeah, in the 1920s, people were living it up. People were thinking it's great. People were thinking that the good times will never end. And it ended in 28 or 29, the Depression. And it ended very suddenly. But in that moment, people from across the country, all backgrounds, were like, okay, let's actually regulate the powerful in society. Let's elect Franklin D. Roosevelt. Let's do a New Deal. That's what we need. And I think, if Trump fucks shit up, which if he gets even 20% of his agenda done, we will see a lot of shit get fucked up. If things get messed up, maybe that will wake people up, including some of the people in this chat that are real big MAGA supporters. Man, when they struggle, hopefully they wake up.
I'm going to say this, and I hope you don't hang up, but any man jocking another fucking man, let alone a politician, that shit is gay as fuck. And they talk about being the toughest guys in the world. I'm not Republican and I'm not Democrat, and I think that he's a fucking, these supporters, and I'm not saying all, but wearing fucking politic clothes and fucking a million signs and stickers on their...
I'm going to put someone in the queue real quick. I'm going to put someone in the queue real quick. Stay in the queue. I'm going to pull you in, all right? Wait for a minute. All right, you were saying. Trump supporters. Very silly people.
And the thing is I have friends that are Trump supporters. I have family that are Trump supporters. They're respectable.
Yeah.
We have our opinions. I don't think Kamala was going to fucking solve everything for us. As a respectable person, definitely she was the more respectable, more adult, Trump talks out his fucking ass, and these idiots, not all, but they believe every fucking word he says, and it doesn't matter what it is. You ain't going to argue with them. You're not ever going to change their fucking minds. The only way that they're ever going to change their mind, and this is both sides, is when shit gets fucked up and it doesn't go the way they thought it was going to go.
Yep.
And unfortunately, as a business owner of over 20 years, a successful business owner, I'm going to tell you, it's coming, and it's fucking coming fast. So buckle the fuck up, save your dollars up, because we've been running, and history always repeats itself. We've been running on a fucking high since like 2000, I'd say, when we had the return of the housing in 2009, 2010. We've been growing and growing and growing and growing. Well, guess what? It's time for a collapse, and what they are wanting to fucking do, it's going to make it come even faster.
And with that, I will say, I think we will survive. We're just going to have to go through some shit.
Here's the thing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who the fucking president is. I'm going to wake up and open that same fucking door every morning to go do what I need to do to put food on the table for my fucking family.
Yep. And you know what? I appreciate your time, brother, and I wish your family the best of luck. I think you'll do good.
Hey, one more thing, for everybody that's on there. Fuck the politics. Go Lions. We got the #1 seed. Let's go Detroit.
W Detroit.
That's right. Have a good night, brother.
You too, man. You too. All right. 931 area code. What's on your mind?
I'm curious, how good of a job do you think Biden did?
There's things where I'm very critical of, particularly with Israel. But I will say I'm glad that there was 800,000 new manufacturing jobs. I'm glad there was a National Labor Relations Board that was letting people unionize. I'm glad that there was a person in charge of the FTC that was breaking up monopolies and actively fighting mergers. and making it easier for simple things like letting consumers unsubscribe from subscription services when, I'm sure you understand that some companies try to make it very hard to unsubscribe. I'm glad there was the CHIPS Act. I'm glad that there was a historic high public and private investment into manufacturing. Where I'm critical of Biden is his Israel policy. And unfortunately, the one thing Biden and Trump really agree on is Israel, so there's not really going to be much of a change on that regard.
Well, I disagree on Biden and Trump agreeing about Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Trump was way more pro-Israel than Biden.
Well, Biden let Israel do whatever the hell they wanted.
Oh, so you're anti-Israel then?
I'm a critic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think Israel should exist, period?
I'm fine with Israel existing because it exists, right? I just don't think that their response has been proportionate.
Not what I'm asking. Do you support Hamas?
No.
You don't? Oh, well, that's good, dude.
Yeah. When it comes to a state's right to exist, the states that currently exist, so they have a right to exist, right? And you can respond to, for example, if you have a group like Hamas, you can respond proportionally, but I think that they have far surpassed their proportionate response.
No, not even close. They were invaded. They were invaded.
Yeah,
and they
invasion is a strong word. I mean, there was literally children in a hospital being burnt alive on camera in Gaza because of an Israeli bomb. There was more for years and years and years. There have been Palestinians and Israelis fighting, and it's always Palestinians getting the brunt of the stick. So I'm just kind of curious, if you believe that Hamas is bad and Hamas is doing an invasion and that justifies everything Israel's been doing, do you kind of have like a basic philosophy like, if you're punched, you can punch back?
Hamas literally went into Israel and burned babies alive on camera. And
Israel's killed a lot more children. Israel has statistically been able to kill a lot more children. Do you think that?
I won't cut you off. I'll let you talk.
Yeah. But this conflict didn't start on October 7th.
Okay. They literally went into Israel, grabbed babies, threw them into fires in front of the mothers, and then raped the mothers.
Yeah, but you understand that this conflict has been going on for a long time, and Israel has been able to do a hell of a lot worse to the people of Palestine than Hamas would even be capable of doing, physically capable of doing. Israel has done 100 times that in the span of a year than anything Hamas would be able to do in 50.
That's because Hamas puts their bunkers underneath hospitals and puts their own children.
That's what the Israelis say, right? But that's a pretty good justification for bombing all these different institutions.
They're saying that.
But you don't think think that this conflict started though, like on October 7th though, right?
I mean, war has been going on in the Middle East for ever.
Yeah, and if you look at just like the data about deaths and injuries of Israelis and Palestinians year by year, it's pretty clear that there is a massive gap between who is suffering. In 2018, for instance, or in 2017, I'll start there. 2017, since we're just going on recent memory here, there was 174 Israeli injuries, 8,526 Palestinian injuries. In 2018, only 130 Israeli injuries and 31,000 Palestinian injuries. 2019, 133 Israelis, 15,628 Palestinians. Overall, from 2008 to 2020, there's been only 251 Israelis that were killed and 5,590 Palestinians that were killed. So if Israel has a right to respond in the way that they're doing, and because, I mean, you believe that it's justified the way they've been responding, does Hamas not have justification for October 7th based on your standards? I think that it's not justified, right? I don't believe in hurting civilians, period. But Israel is hurting civilians, and they're targeting civilians, and they're using food as a weapon.
No. Israel did not target civilians.
Okay.
Hamas and the Palestinian authorities put civilians in front of
well, first of all, the Palestinian Authority is a different... A Palestinian Authority is in the West Bank. It's a different government.
They work side by side.
No, they don't. Hamas is opposition to the Palestinian Authority.
No, well, okay.
Yeah. So when 83% of food aid is blocked from entering Gaza, this is food aid blocked by Israel.
How much
Is
land
that
did
justified?
Israel give up over the past, say, 50 years? How much of their land did they willingly just give away?
They've only taken more and more land each decade.
What?
Yes.
No, you need a history lesson.
No.
Israel has given away land. Israel actually had control of the Gaza Strip, and they gave it away.
Yeah, they do their invasions, but they have expanded
They gave
into.
it away, though.
They've expanded and expanded and expanded. They have much more land than what was agreed on back in 1947. And are you familiar with the settlements in the West Bank where there are literally Israelis going into Palestinian homes and removing the people?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they're doing expansion.
You can just look at a map and you can see where they were and how much they've given away.
I'm looking at the map now. They have taken more land, particularly in the West Bank. Gaza has stayed relatively the same from the 90s to now. The land that we see in Gaza, but the West Bank has been taken. And also, while Gaza, I'm just gonna be real quick. When Gaza, even if it had the land, it was still blockaded. They were still prevented from building certain infrastructure by Israel, like a port, like an airport. They were still occupied. There was 50% unemployment. It was an open-air prison camp, as described by many. But why did Hamas attack Israel on October 7th? I don't exactly know their reason. I'm assuming if they were to justify it, they would say that that the Israelis are occupiers and that they are doing resistance. That would be what they say. Now, I don't think you should ever attack civilians or target civilians when it comes to your resistance. In the same way, when Israelis say that what they're doing is just a response to Hamas, and then they target civilians and apartment buildings and refugee camps and safe zones that they designate safe zones, like in Rafah. If Israel says, go here to avoid the bombs...
Something a safe zone, when you designate something a safe zone, and then you put military equipment in that safe zone...
Well, I mean, that's probably the Israeli justification, but I've seen no real indication of that. So if Israel deems a place a safe zone... Yeah, sure. If Israel deems a place... If Israel deems a place a safe zone, and then civilians go to the safe zone, and then Israel bombs the safe zone and kills civilians, it's kind of bad, right?
Well, that hasn't happened.
That hasn't happened? Israel has not bombed a safe zone? That they deemed a safe zone?
When they put terrorist equipment there, and then
Al-Mawasi has been designated as a humanitarian safe zone by Israel in October of last year. Since then, thousands of displaced people have either fled there. What bombs did Israel use against the Al-Mawasi safe zone?
I'll take one from. In World War II, was Britain okay killing more Germans, civilians? Was that okay?
I don't think generally you should target civilians. I think you should target the military.
But if
I recognize that civilians do die, but I don't think that this is anywhere comparable to World War II. Hamas is nowhere near the strength of Nazi Germany.
Yeah, but Hamas is genocidal, just like Nazi Germany.
I will say I think Israel is also genocidal. I literally had a Israel supporter in my last stream come into this stream and say that every single Palestinian should be killed.
Well, that's wrong.
Yeah. And unfortunately, many of MAGA in the chat were very enthusiastic about that. There are situations where I talk about
but don't get it wrong.
Yeah. There's situations where I talk about like the 83% of food aid being blocked, which is starvation being used as a weapon, which is a violation of international law. And I do see people in MAGA oftentimes being like, no, block the food aid, let them starve. And of course, you see Israelis that support every single action. I understand supporting the existence of the State of Israel. Don't get me wrong. There are civilians there, too, that were harmed on October 7th. And I'm outraged that civilians were hurt on October 7th. But that outrage I feel for the civilian... Yeah. Murdered. All the stuff. Murdered, tortured, and all that stuff. So, the stuff that happened to them is the same exact thing that's been happening to Palestinians for decades, and especially after October 7th. And I think that any civilian experiencing that is outraged. Or is outrageous.
I don't think that people have been raping and murdering babies in their cribs on a scale like that. I don't think that...
I can't speak about... I'm on TikTok, so I'm going to say rape and murder. I can't speak on that. I'm going to actually exit the TikTok stream just because of the type of content we're talking about right now. Actually, hold on. I'll stay on TikTok just for this one guy. I'll bring him in after this. Patrick, stay in the TikTok chat, okay? I'll come to you soon. But, listen, based on the vibe that I'm getting from you, I don't think that you are... Obviously, you find murder and starvation and rape and all that stuff disgusting. And, I would encourage you simply to hold that
stand. That. No, that's...
Wait, what? Say that. Don't say what?
You're saying... Did you just say that I think that's okay?
No, I said I think you find it disgusting.
Oh, okay. I thought...
Yeah. I think you find it disgusting and wrong, and you seem like a moral human being. I would just ask you, as my final request to you, to just kind of hold that same standard when Israelis do similar actions to Palestinians. And I thank you for your time, and I thank you for a respectful conversation.
To go back to actually Trump versus Biden, though.
What's up?
So do you think Kamala would do better than Trump, in your opinion?
Yeah. I think she would at least not do, for example, tariffs that would potentially, as the last caller was explaining, mess up basic things like construction because, making raw material more expensive. I think that the program to build 3 million new homes...
do you disagree with?
Yeah, I think across-the-board tariffs are a really bad idea. I'm for specific and targeted tariffs. I think that's fine.
When he says across the board, he doesn't mean
he's advocated for across the board. He's advocated... He doesn't... During the campaign, he wanted every single country, every single import, but he's kind of narrowed it down at this point to the Mexico, Canada, and China. Those 3 countries are about half of all our imports into the United States. So that would be a good portion, and some very valuable stuff like lumber from Mexico, oil from Canada and Mexico, fruit, obviously a lot of cheap goods. Well,
lumber. We don't really need oil.
We are the biggest oil producers. We are the biggest oil producers in the world, but that isn't enough to make our gas prices to what people are satisfied with.
Well, it is, but gas prices were low, and then Biden came in and shut down the pipeline. And
Biden did not lower the amount of oil production. Right? He shut down the Keystone Pipeline, but the Keystone Pipeline was heading to Texas because that was oil that was specifically going to be exported to other countries. But under Biden's administration... Biden's administration, though, we have seen more oil production than any point in American history, even more than the Trump administration. So if Trump's theory, and I understand the narrative is like, oh, Biden is against oil production, it's just not true. And if the theory is, we're just going to produce... No, I don't think he ever said he's against oil, and his actions, whatever he said, definitely don't show that because he's increased oil production dramatically. So if Trump's plan is just to do what Biden's been doing, I don't think what Biden's been doing is enough. I'm not satisfied with what Biden's been doing, and I don't think most Americans are. Otherwise, Kamala would have won easily. And unfortunately, I think when it comes to the energy discussion, I think Trump has kind of... done what mainly Republicans, but there's certainly some Democrats, have done, where they've kind of sold out to just big oil, and they are willing to slow down progress on, say, green energy, and let China kind of just dominate that market. And it's unfortunate. But I will say, hold on, I'm gonna put someone in the hold real quick. I'm gonna put you on hold. Stay in line, all right? Thank you. But yeah, you were saying the entire Democratic Party, and we're gonna finish up soon, okay?
Okay. The entire Democratic Party has said they want no oil
No, that's not true. There are many Democrats that are super pro oil.
Okay, I'll say 80% of them.
I wouldn't even say that. I think you're being too generous to the Democrats. Again, actions speak louder than words. This president Biden, who is not like representative of like a new age of progressive Democrats, he's a quote unquote centrist. He's a much more conservative Democrat, and all he's been doing in terms of oil, in terms of energy, is supporting the oil industry, boosting it tremendously. There were some investments here and there in green energy, but yeah, so. I'm not. Yeah, you can feel that way, but
no.
Either way,
the party said that.
I'm not. I think Biden should have dropped out last year, right? I'm not a big fan of Biden. I agree. Ultimately, though, Biden was the candidate, and he did receive the most votes. Unfortunately, he was not fit for it. But again, when it comes to the topic that we were, 100%. I was Bernie back in 2016 and 2020, and even if he was running in 2024, I would have supported him.
Yeah, they stole it from Bernie in 2016, honestly. But
Bernie would have been a great pick, you know. And
I'm not a fan of communism, and he kind of is, but he's still better than.
I wouldn't say Bernie's a communist, but I think he would be a good president. I do think it's great that we can agree that he would be a great candidate. But, brother, I appreciate your time. I do have somebody waiting. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yep. All right, yep.
All right, Patrick from TikTok. You were waiting for a while. What's on your mind?
I was just listening to y'all's conversation.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd point out, man, we're talking about civilians and unaliving.
Yeah.
I'll remember Madeleine Albright back years ago when she was asked if the 500,000 kids that were unalive during the Iraq War, if it was worth it. And she said, yeah, it was worth it. So Israel's doing wrong. We've done wrong in the past, and sad thing is that we as Americans were somehow able to justify it. And what we've got to come to the realization is that war is big business, and the first victim of war is always the truth. And they're going to lie to you to get you worked up and get you to support their agenda. And they're willing to do whatever it takes or allow whatever it takes to happen to get y'all support. There's even circumstantial evidence, if you will, that Pearl Harbor was allowed to happen. My grandfather was at Pearl Harbor, so I've done quite a bit of research into that. But there's reason to believe that we knew it was coming, and we needed it to happen to get the American people behind that big war that the American people at that time wanted no part of overwhelmingly. Yeah. And then after that event, everybody jumped in full throttle, just like 9/11. Nobody would have wanted to do what we did in the Middle East.
I'm curious if you think that there's a potential risk that in the upcoming Trump administration that we might start a war with Iran.
I'm worried that this administration is trying to start a war right now on the way out, given Ukraine permission to shoot missiles into Russia. All kinds of things are escalating, and all kinds of actions are taking place that really don't make a lot of sense. I would say the next couple of weeks are going to be, as they have been, they're going to be very volatile, and some of the things that we're going to see out of this administration, maybe even down the road, looking back what they did that we'll find out, could very well be leading us into an event that Trump may not have a choice as far as getting us out of. And that's what I'm concerned about. None of this stuff makes any sense, man.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I would hope, if there's one thing that I would hope from the Trump administration, I hope we're able to avoid specifically a war with Iran. That would be great, because if we go into a war with there, it's going to make Iraq and Afghanistan look like light work. We're going to have to occupy that place for decades and decades and decades, and it would be real bad. And unfortunately, I would say when it comes to foreign policy, Trump was willing to kill that Soleimani guy. that risks starting a war. The only reason a war didn't start was Iran didn't respond like we would respond, and they didn't declare war on us, you know. But hopefully we see more of that restraint in the coming years.
Well, the same goes for Russia, man. We're poking
definitely.
Russia in a way that could escalate and bring Iran into the mix one way or the other. Same with China. So there's a couple irons in the fire that are getting pretty hot that could bleed over into a serious event that, you know, we need to calm down, and the rhetoric we need to.
Wait, hold on one moment. I'm just going to put someone on hold real quick. I'm going to put you on hold. Stay in the queue for now, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, you were saying, Patrick?
Well, there's an old saying, when all else fails, they'll lead you to war. Meaning, you know, when the government starts losing control, when you start having currency wars, trade wars, when you have a currency that's at the end of its ropes, and you're on a global fiat system that needs to be reset, the only way to do that, and one of the best ways to do that, in the way that governments protect themselves and their power structure, is to take us to war. And then you have a reset after the fact. But
yeah, that's the scary thing. I think that there's a lot of politicians that want to use war as a way to protect their careers, but I do have someone waiting in the queue, and I am trying to end debate soon, so I'm just kind of curious. You got any final points?
Well, just start advocating for less war, man. And this isn't a partisan issue at this point, man. This is going to bleed us all dry, all of us.
100%, 100%.
And I will say Trump is better positioned to negotiate from a place of power and confidence and not be an empty suit and a puppet for the military-industrial complex. And I fear that Kamala Harris would have done that when you start getting endorsed by Dick Cheney and all the leftovers of the Bush administration. So,
well, the only thing is with that, I would say the reason why she got endorsed by like someone like Dick Cheney is because just Trump has personal beef with Liz Cheney. Ultimately, Trump and Liz Cheney's voting record are a lot closer than Kamala and Liz Cheney's voting record. But Donald Trump also has been filling his cabinet with like the hawks. I'm sure you're not happy about that. You know, Marco Rubio's, the Mike
John
Huckabees
Bolton
and so on.
in his last administration was a terrible pick, but he explained that, and he is a hell of a negotiating tool to walk into a room when everybody knows all he wants to do is bomb people. So
that's true. That is true. I agree with that.
You know, you walk in with John Bolton, you're going to scare some people on the other side of the negotiating table.
Yep. Hey, well, I appreciate your time, man.
Trump's all show too, guys. So like the tariff stuff, all he's trying to do is come from a point of positioning, blanket tariffs on everything. That he can go to the table and come off that to the best of our interest.
We'll see, because honestly, he's not a very policy-oriented guy. The one thing you can kind of tell he's genuinely interested in is immigration and those tariffs. Like, he talks about those tariffs like a fan talks about a property, a show. So we'll see what happens. But Patrick, I appreciate your time, man. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Take care of yourself.
You too. All right, one more call sitting in hold. 313 area code. What's on your mind?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, awesome. Well, this is really cool because I'm hearing the the delay right now. Let me hop off the video.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, I overheard all of your conversation, and there were a few things that I agreed with and certain things that I didn't. But mainly, it's the villainization of a person that people people don't know very much about him.
Trump?
About Trump, yeah. But the main thing is also, how can you give a vivid, a very clear, factual explanation for something that you don't have a lived experience of? For me, I have a very vivid and very visceral, very lived experience based on the policies and things that were under Trump. And a lot of people can sit here and talk about these things and concepts and ideas and fears, but they don't have the lived experience. They're always talking about what they heard from somebody or what they see, what the numbers show. But I'm going to tell you from my lived experience. I know for a fact under a Trump administration that my life was better. as a black American living, coming from urban America to living in a city, in a state where there is very little black people, okay?
Yeah, yep.
Very little. I have a lot of experience with this. Now going to working for a university and having experience, I'm telling you right now, we're a lot better off than we were back in the 50s and 60s, okay?
Well, that for Black Americans, without a doubt. I mean, look, I would say this. Just you asked a question earlier, so I want to respond to it. How do I know what's going to happen? People can look at his plan. People can look at the policies he's proposed, and they can give a detailed analysis on it. We can also look at his history. He was president already, and there were certain aspects of his presidency that I found, like things he promised that I could approve of. For example, hold on. You're gonna let me talk. You're gonna let me talk.
Yeah, of course.
All right, thank you. So he made some decent promises. Particularly, I like the promises that he was going to rip up the bad trade deals. You aware of what the NAFTA and the TPP is?
No.
Okay. NAFTA and the TPP are trade deals that have allowed a tremendous amount of American jobs to be outsourced overseas. Donald Trump campaigned that he was going to get rid of those trade deals. I, as a person on the left, was very supportive of that specific policy. He actually shot down the TPP, which I, at the time, gave credit for. The issue is when he did the United States and Mexico-Canada agreement, the USMCA, he pretty much just did NAFTA with provisions from a bill, the TPP, that he said was going to rip off Americans, was going to do outsourcing, and we did see outsourcing under his presidency. He just did neoliberal economics like the presidents before him. In addition, he said he was going to fix American infrastructure. He didn't. He didn't have an infrastructure plan. He did Infrastructure Week. It was symbolic, and it was nothing. Biden, to his credit, did do an infrastructure plan, did have an infrastructure program. Donald Trump has been in
politics for over 50 years.
Yeah, Donald Trump also promised that he would bring back American manufacturing. We saw 200,000 manufacturing jobs leave, and we did not. And we saw manufacturing construction stagnate and decline, and it was unfortunate.
Okay, that was toward the pandemic, of course.
No.
So it wasn't because of the pandemic.
It was the first 2 years.
So you're saying it wasn't. So when was it?
It was the first 2 years of his presidency. That manufacturing investment in construction specifically.
So the first 2 years of his presidency when he had to work us out of a recession.
Do you believe we were currently in recession at the end of the Obama administration?
We were. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Did you not experience 2008 forward?
Go ahead and tell me when the recession
like I'm just
began.
saying.
When did the recession begin and when did the recession end?
It's not about when it began or when it ends. I'm just saying I've noticed when things
you can just tell me. So wait, you think wait. Whoa. Hold on. You said when he got into office. You're telling me that Obama started the recession when he got into office?
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said.
So when did the recession start and end? I just want to know the basic question.
When things started to pass, and the form started to change for our country through the year, when people who actually work in fiscal America have to deal with, quarters and dealing with laws, when those things started to change, when you started to see infrastructure changes and percentages changes, I started to notice the difference when those changes went into effect after his presidency.
I'm just kind of curious, though. When did the recession begin and end?
I really couldn't tell you because I wasn't focused on that.
Well, you did say that the recession was happening by the end of the Obama administration.
Yeah, we were coming out of a recession based on reporting.
The recession began in 2007 under Bush.
2008 is what I would say.
It kind of peaked in 2008. Obama came in 2009, and the recession was officially over in June 2009. Okay? Under Obama, we saw 70 unbroken months of continued job growth. There was job growth under Donald Trump that followed the same trend. And if you can praise the job growth that was happening under Donald Trump, at least in those first few years, then you can probably praise the job growth that was happening under Obama. And you could also probably recognize that that's probably a good indicator of the economy, that unemployment was going down. In addition to that, when it comes specifically to what we were talking about earlier, manufacturing investment did start going up, like manufacturing investment in construction did start going up under Obama, and overall manufacturing jobs did start going up under Obama. And there was a continued trend of growth. When it came to the deficit was reduced, I believe, 6 out of the 8 years of the Obama administration, right? So under Donald Trump, again, those first 2 years, investment in construction and manufacturing went down, and as a result, the jobs started going down, and then of course there was COVID, and that was a dramatic spike. But the trend of continued, the trend of continued growth though, ended before the pandemic, right? Obviously, unemployment went up. Obviously, there was the tax bill that he did, and that tax bill added greatly to the deficit, higher than any president in the history of this country. So each year saw deficit increases.
So the pandemic had nothing to do with that? Is what you're saying?
It had a part at the end, but before the pandemic, because of the tax bill, no, not the biggest part of it. Did the tax bill not add to the recession?
What are you talking about? The entire world shut down.
Did the tax bill that Donald Trump did?
The entire world shut down.
That's
what are you talking about?
I'm asking you a pretty specific question. In 2017, in 2018, in 2019, was there not growth in the deficit?
In the deficit? There's always growth in deficit. What are you talking about?
No, there's not.
Yes, there is.
Nope.
They print money like it's going out of style. Are you talking about the Federal Reserve? Are we sitting here defending the Federal Reserve?
When was the last time there was a surplus? Since you're saying it's always growing.
It is always growing. What are you talking about?
When was the last time
we have a debt? The United States has a debt. They're trying to raise the debt ceiling.
I understand that.
There's a debt.
I'm asking you a basic question.
So it's always going to grow.
I'm asking you a basic question, though.
What's your basic question? It's not
the
basic.
Last time
if it's
there
based
was
on
a
thing
surplus.
That you think you know.
Well, you should know this too, since you're acting like you know it.
No, I'm just saying
you
have a preconceived notion. It's not an actual question to know. A question goes from not knowing to knowing.
I'm asking if you know it. If you don't know it, would you like me to explain?
Go ahead and assert your opinion.
It's not an opinion. It's just the reality. There was a surplus at the end of the Bill Clinton administration, and then that surplus.
Oh, wonderful. What does that have to do with today?
Yeah. So my point is that the surplus, that the deficit and the surplus isn't always discontinued.
You're talking about past situations that has nothing to do with today.
I'm talking
and to
about
your opinion of today.
I'm talking about this century. Okay.
Oh, a century. I'm talking about today.
I'm talking about the 21st century that we're living in today.
I'm talking about today, from today forward. This is what Americans want to know.
In the beginning of this century, we had a surplus, not a deficit. Under Bush, it went up. Under Obama, it went down.
And that's wonderful.
Under Trump, it went up. And Biden has since lowered it from the peak that Trump left it at.
Okay,
so
and that means what?
That doesn't mean the deficit is gone.
What?
But that means Democrats.
You're talking about that as if it's a matter of relevance to our conversation.
It is relevant.
It is not,
for years, Republicans have always talked about the importance of the debt and the deficit. If you go and watch Jon Stewart and Bill and
I can be in debt and still live a lavish life. I can be in debt and still live a lavish life.
Brother, go watch Jon Stewart. Go watch Jon Stewart and Bill O'Reilly.
I live a life as a human being.
Go watch Jon Stewart and Bill O'Reilly debate. And Bill O'Reilly made a big point.
I don't need to watch other people. I have lived experience that I can actually draw from.
The debt and the deficit. You know, there was a time where Republicans.
You're talking about.
There was a time where Republicans actually cared about this stuff, or at least pretended to. They did lip service. Ultimately, it was the Republicans that brought back the deficit. And it's always Democrats
what are you drawing from? You have no lived experience that you're talking about.
I'm drawing
it's all about things
from
that
just
watched.
the data. I'm drawing from
just
the data.
Things that you've watched. I'm talking to you about my lived experience.
I don't give a fuck about lived experience. I don't give a fuck.
And that,
yeah.
So
I
what
don't
does that
care.
mean?
I don't
That
care when
means
someone. I do not give a
Okay.
fuck when someone says, "I have a story. I have an anecdote." When you're talking
That's not
about
a
policy
story. It's not
and
a
politics, you have to talk
It's not a story.
about information, about data, about reality.
What area of expertise
And
do you work in
I
aside from social
specifically
media?
was saying, you can try to pivot
I
and do
work
this.
with the law.
You
I
can try
actually
to,
work
you
with
can,
the law.
Then I would hope that you can actually, use real data and real information to back your argument.
That's what I'm talking to you about, but you say you don't give a
No,
fuck about it.
well, you were saying that your lived experiences. I don't care
Yeah, my
about
lived
lived
experience is
experiences.
associated to it because I actually
So
work in the
don't-
field that I'm talking
Don't
about.
get so triggered and emotional about it.
I'm
right?
not triggered and emotional. You are. You brought expletives into the conversation.
Yeah,
because you were triggered and emotional.
I always do expletives.
You were
I
triggered
don't
and
care.
emotional, and you brought expletives into the conversation.
Yeah,
I was
sure.
actually
I'm
speaking
so
to you in
triggered.
plain English.
I'm so triggered.
You were.
Yeah, I'm
on
so
your
triggered.
own show.
I'm so triggered, bro. All right, are we gonna
Yeah.
focus on the data, or are we gonna focus on anecdotes?
What data are you drawing from?
So I made the claim. A pretty
You
simple
have a
claim.
biased opinion that is pulled from fucking biased data based on a source that you are saying is true. This is horrible.
My opinion
And
does not.
you're feeding the
my
world with
opinion-
information based on
my
your opinion.
My opinion does not affect the national deficit, the federal deficit over the years. My opinion
Which
does
is
not
affected by
change that.
what? Which is
It's affected by the
what?
policies done by the governments that we select, okay? And the policies that
Right.
you have supported by the president that you support, Donald Trump, has
Mhm.
raised the deficit, reversing the trend of Obama, which was lower deficit each year. He raised the
Sure.
deficit higher than any president in the history of this country. Because
But yet
he
there were
wanted to do...
There were no new wars. There were no new wars. There were
Okay,
no wars.
you want to jump to foreign policy, that's fine.
No, I'm just saying, in foreign policy, regardless, there were no wars.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yet, do we see what's going on right now?
So how
Do
much
we see
drone?
what's going on right now? We can say we're having a fabulous time
how much
right
drone
now.
strikes? How much drone strikes did he do compared to Obama?
There's no comparison.
There's no comparison.
There's no comparison.
You think
I'm just
Obama
saying
did
there's
more
no
drone strikes?
comparison. I'm talking about wars started. He
Yeah,
ended.
that's a
them.
pretty low bar. I mean, if you're
Do
actively
you not
in a,
understand that?
if you're actively
Do you
in
not
a war,
understand that?
wait,
You're
are
trying
you gonna
to
calm
compare
down?
oranges to
Are you gonna calm
apples.
down? Are you gonna calm
There
down
are
a little
people
bit?
continuously
Are you gonna
dying.
calm down a little bit? Gonna calm down a little bit? We can have a
I'm saying there are
conversation.
people continuously dying.
We can have a conversation
right now.
So Donald Trump increased drone strikes 435%. His first raid killed an American citizen, a little girl, right? And I'm curious if you know.
This
but
is the
he
cost
did.
of war. People die in wars.
Yeah.
Do you not know
yeah.
that?
Yeah. And he
And
was
you know
a big,
how many
he was a
American
big fan of
citizens
war.
died in the war right now?
So I'm curious.
How many
I'm
American
curious.
citizens, including children, are
I'm
dying
curious.
right now? Do you know
I'm
that?
curious.
Oh, you said A. You said
I'm
A,
curious.
little girl. But I'm talking
I'm
about
curious.
many little
I'm
children,
curious.
little children and babies that are
I'm
dying
curious.
right now.
I'm curious.
What are you
If
curious
you
about?
know, what did Donald Trump do when he was presented with a bill by a Democrat-leaning individual, Bernie Sanders, and a Republican, Mike Lee, to stop the sale of weapons to Saudi Arabia, who, during Trump's presidency, was committing a genocide in Yemen? What did Donald Trump do to that bill?
No, I don't know anything about that. I just know that there was nothing going on in
So
the
there
Middle
wa-
East other
so-
than peace.
Okay,
for
that's
4 years.
That's not true. There was
For 4
still
years.
we
Yes,
were
there was,
number
yes.
one. We
There
were
were the-
st-
there
we
were the
were,
accords. Yes, there were the accords.
We were
Excuse me?
excuse me. We were still fighting
There were
ISIS.
18 months
There
of
was
no
still
death.
Syria
There was
happening.
18 months of no death of American citizens.
We still had a
when he
war in
said-
Afghanistan, and he was
Oh,
supporting a
sure.
genocide in Yemen. So he was
Sure.
supporting a
So he was
genocide in Yemen.
supporting it?
Are you?
Is that what
are
you're
you?
saying?
Yeah, he
You're
was
saying
giving
that
the
openly?
weapons. He was giving the weapons to support a genocide in Yemen, and that's
Sure.
bad. He had the opportunity to
Right.
not sell weapons. So can you tell me why he didn't stop giving weapons to Saudi Arabia as they were committing a genocide in Yemen?
There was nothing. There's nothing to support that other than your opinion and what you've researched independently.
So there was a bill.
You can
that
easily
went to,
say it.
there
You
was
can
a
easily
bill.
sit here and say a gotcha moment.
There was
You
a
can sit here
bill.
and try
It's not a
and
gotcha
pull a
moment.
gotcha
It's a
moment
basic.
based
It's a
on
basic
things that
understanding. It's basic understanding of
I
the situation.
don't have to go around and around with
You said that there was peace in the Middle East. There was a genocide
There
happening
was.
in Yemen. We were still occupying Afghanistan. There was
Their
the literal fight
independent
against
wars,
ISIS.
I'm talking
There
about
was Syria.
their
There was the Syrian
independent
civil war.
their independent
Right. So
wars
there was
within
no peace in the
themselves is
Middle
one
East
thing,
when the entire
but
Middle
peace
East
in the
was
Middle East
fighting.
concerning us.
So
I'm talking
yeah.
about us.
So we were still in an active war in Afghanistan.
Oh, sure. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you like to know how many
So,
people
there was
died each year under the Trump administration?
Go right ahead. And I'm sure you have this number to rattle off.
Absolutely. It's a pretty easy thing to find.
Sure.
In 2017, 15 U.S. soldiers died. In 2018, 14
Right.
U.S. soldiers
How many
died.
died under Biden?
In 2019, 24
How many
U.S.
died
soldiers
under
died.
Biden
I'm
with
going to
the
answer your
Afghanistan
question.
withdrawal?
Would you like my?
No.
Would you like
How
me to
many?
answer
How
your
many
question?
died under Biden with the Afghanistan withdrawal?
Would you like me to answer your question?
That he doesn't want to talk about.
Would you
That
like
they
me to
don't-
answer your
they don't-
question?
that they- I'm asked,
Would you like me?
I just asked a question. I said, how many
Okay, so
people
if you
died
if you ask
in
a
the
question-
Afghanistan withdrawal
if
that
you
people
have
are
a
trying
question-
to ignore that happened?
If you have a question,
that was horrendous.
if you have a question,
The
you need to-
horrendous withdrawal
you need to
with
quiet
the
down
people
a
who
little
died
bit.
needlessly.
If you have a question, you need to quiet down a little bit so I can answer your question. That's how questions work, right?
I'm just saying, since you want to sit here and spout out facts, let's talk about current events.
Would you like me? Would you like me to get? Would you like me to
Let's
get
talk
to
about
that?
the
Would you
Afghanistan
like me?
withdrawal that Biden failed.
Yeah. Would you
How
like me to
about
get to that? Would you like me to get to that?
No, you can talk about that. How about that?
Yeah, I'm
That's
gonna get to
real.
that.
That's
So would you
now.
like me to get to
That's
that?
now. No, let's talk about that now.
Would you like me to get to that?
Yeah, go ahead. See how?
Okay.
Tell me
So
how
I'm
it was
going-
wonderful. Tell me
I'm
how it
going-
was great.
I'm
how
going
it was,
year
he
by
was
year.
such a great president.
I think
and
you're
he did a
emotional.
great job of withdrawing.
And it's unfortunate, but let me make a point. All right?
No, let's talk about. I want you to tell me how that was wonderful. How he was such a great president.
Why would
and
you
how
tell me?
that
Why would you want me
withdrawal
to tell you
was
that's
so
wonderful when it's
great.
clear? Okay.
No,
listen,
no. Tell
listen,
me, since you want to
listen.
talk about him as he's
Listen.
such a great president.
I actually am a big critic
Tell
of
me.
Biden. I'm actually a massive critic of Biden.
But you're going to sit here and be, that's wonderful. So you're going to be a big critic of Biden, then you're going to defend him, and then turn around and sit there
Are you talking to like the wall right now, or are you talking to me? And then if you're talking to me,
I'm talking to
maybe
you.
wanna
I'm
let me
talking
talk.
to you.
Maybe you
Go
want to let me talk
ahead.
then. Okay. So
Go
again,
ahead.
I'm gonna start. These are just the soldiers, American soldiers that died in Afghanistan. Okay. This is
Mhm.
not
Yeah.
me spinning it. This is just the numbers. 2017, 15 dead. Okay. 2018, 14 dead. 2019, 24 dead. 2020, 11 dead. 2021, 13 dead. 2021 is when we were doing our pullout. But you know, among those last 5 years, or whatever years that I listed off there, that was actually not the highest amount of U.S. soldiers dying. And since then, 2022, 2023, 2024,
It's not about
no,
a highest number.
no soldier,
That's needling.
no
When I
soldier,
tell you,
no soldier.
no-
Hey, buddy,
no
buddy,
soldier's death
buddy,
dying.
I need you to calm down. I need you to calm down when I'm fucking talking. Do you understand me? All right, let's chill it out a little bit, okay?
As you're talking
So,
to me in
yeah.
an irate fashion, that's wonderful
Yeah,
for you.
yeah, because I'm letting you talk a lot and you're acting like a dumbass. Okay, so again,
I'm
death
not.
is
I'm
horrible.
actually being very
Death is-
intelligent
death
and
is-
articulate.
Death is very.
You can't take it.
No,
and
you're
that's
not.
fine.
Death
You-
is horrible.
yeah.
So it's really good that nobody
Yeah.
no American is dying in Afghanistan anymore because the war is over, right?
Sure.
Because every single year that we were in Afghanistan, Americans died. Do you
That's
disagree
why
with that
I have
notion?
people that are in my life right now that are being deployed next month. What the fuck are you talking about?
We're not at war in Afghanistan.
Are you kidding me?
Do you think there are American soldiers
I
in
know
Afghanistan
people
today?
who are active and on the ground. You're lying based on data. That's so cute for you.
Bro,
It's cute for you that you take
where
your
are the
data.
American soldiers? Where are the American soldiers being deployed to Afghanistan? I would love to know the city. I would love to know. I would
I'm
love
not
to know
telling
the
people's
secret
personal
shadow
business.
war.
But let
I would
me-
love to know the
let me
secret
tell you
shadow war.
something. Let me
Hold
tell you something.
Hold on. I would love to know
You
the
think
secret
you
shadow
know
war that's been
everything,
fighting.
but you don't.
Who is
Your
the government?
arrogance
Who
is
is
your
the government of
downfall.
who is the government of Afghanistan right now? Who runs the government of
I don't
Afghanistan?
know none of that. I live in the United States. What are you talking about?
So if you don't know who's running the government of Afghanistan, Do you think that the
I
current
don't,
government...
because I
Yeah, that's
live
good.
in the United
That's good.
States of
That's
America.
good.
Are you kidding me right now?
I get it. You're super
Are
informed.
you
You're super informed. You're super informed and
I live in the
articulate.
United States of America.
You're super informed and articulate. Okay, so if you don't know the current government of Afghanistan, I'm going to explain something to you. The current government of Afghanistan is the Taliban.
I don't care about Afghanistan politics.
I'm not telling you to care about Afghanistan politics. You were saying that there's active war in Afghanistan, and you personally know people being deployed in Afghanistan. Okay, so the
I
current
know
government
people that are being deployed within the next month to an area that just so happens to be in Afghanistan, and you're going to sit here and tell me that they're not.
So you're
there.
telling me? You're
just
telling
like
me that
Kamala Harris lied on that fucking podium when she was at the debate, saying there's not one person in the United States of America in active deployment. And they looked, and those soldiers said, well, then who the fuck are we? Oh, because she lied too, because she was given false information.
Brother, please tell
don't call me your brother. I'm not related to you.
Please tell me where.
Don't call me your brother. I'm not related to you.
And who are they fighting for in Afghanistan? Which side
The
of this war are they on?
It's called United States of America, fool. Are you not understanding English right now? Do you need to be sold or something?
So you're telling me in 2025, we are currently at war in Afghanistan, even though the Taliban took over the country.
We're currently at war in many places that you are not aware of, apparently.
Can you,
like, your facts
hold on.
from abc.com.
Hey, dipshit. Can we have a back and forth, or are you going to, like, yell into the mic constantly with your
Well, no,
annoying
because you're
voice?
yelling at me and you tried to insult me, but you don't know who you're talking to.
Yeah, I mean, I'll insult whoever. Who
You
the
know
fuck
my area code is 313, that you got the wrong one. You got the wrong one.
Cool.
And I kept it cute with you for a minute, but don't you ever disrespect me. If you don't want to get read on your own fucking channel, you better keep it cute.
Okay, so again, we pulled out of Afghanistan. The Taliban took over the country.
Exactly.
Who are we currently fighting that people you know are going to be deployed? Who are they fighting with? What faction are they fighting for? And who are they fighting against? They're fighting the Taliban?
I don't know. I know that they're being deployed.
You don't know any single thing.
I'm not in the military, fool. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm not in the military. I just said that my friends are leaving me, and we're sad that they're
being
leaving.
Deployed, and they're being deployed to a country that we're currently not at war with. They're being deployed to a country we're not at war with. You specifically said Afghanistan.
Why would they be deployed?
I mean, the U.S. military has a presence in a lot of places. They could literally be deployed to Japan, where we're not in an active war at the moment, but they could just be stationed
so they don't
there.
have to carry weapons in active war?
They still carry weapons in Japan.
Oh, yeah, right. And,
so do you think Japan...
Our friends that are being concerned...
Is Japan like an active war right now?
No, that's not what I said.
Okay, so yeah, they carry weapons into Afghanistan. They can be sent to Afghanistan. They can be deployed, or excuse me.
So we were
told that Japan. They can carry weapons in Japan. They can be stationed in Japan. Mm-hmm. You're saying you got people that you know that's going to be deployed. That's cool, but you're claiming that they're being deployed in Afghanistan, where the war ended in 2021. You literally said we pulled out. You were literally complaining about the pullout, but then you're saying we didn't actually pull out.
No, I'm just saying a pullout, but what are we being redeployed for? There was a pullout that was disastrous, and people died.
Can you give me some sort of source saying that Americans are being redeployed in
I don't have to give you any sort of source because you haven't given any sort of source.
Because you're lying.
You've been giving. I'm not lying. I can say the same thing about you.
So
everything's based on you.
Where is any sense of evidence that we are being deployed in Afghanistan?
My lived experience when me talking to my friend at karaoke.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You see exactly why I don't give a fuck about lived experience when you are saying that because my lived experience. My lived experience is telling me. My lived experience is telling me that. Brother.
You tried it.
Brother. I need you to calm down a little bit.
I am not your brother.
Yeah.
I am not your brother. Because if I was, I would read the fuck out of you.
All right, cool. So your lived experiences is telling you to be upset about the pullout of Afghanistan.
Good entertainment for your channel. Hopefully your ratings go up.
And your lived experience is also telling you that it's bad to pull out, and it's also your friends are going to be deployed to the country that we pulled out of. You understand that your lived experience
right now. Actually,
your lived experience is contradicting itself.
Within a month, one of my closest friends is going to be deployed to active deployment
to Afghanistan.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's fascinating. I think you're living in a different world. Okay, because that war ended a while ago.
So are you. So are you.
So did we not pull out of the war?
I don't know. I'm not in the war.
You don't know a lot of things,
I live in the United States. You don't know a lot of things. You know your computer screen.
Yeah, I can do simple research. It's actually really easy to research.
Yeah, you can do simple research. What have you done actively for this country other than sit and spew hate and bullshit?
It's actually really easy to research. So the war ended in 2021.
Wonderful. You know how to read, just like most Americans do.
I don't know. I
actually
don't know if you know how to read.
I do.
Did you watch the Sonic movie?
The who?
Did you watch the Sonic movie?
Sonic movie? No.
You don't know what Sonic is?
Yes, I know what Sonic is.
Do you know who Shadow is? Shadow the Hedgehog?
Yeah.
I think if you were around Shadow the Hedgehog in person, especially in that movie, because there was a lot of stuff happening,
you're referencing a fictional character. You're really making your case.
You would probably, if you were around Shadow the Hedgehog, you'd probably be a casualty. But best of luck to you.
I wouldn't. No.
Oh, you'd beat. Wait! You'd beat the fuck out of Shadow the Hedgehog?
I'm beating the fuck out of you right now.
You are not.
Read the comments. Read the comments.
Yeah,
and you'll know what I'm talking about.
So you don't think you'd be a casualty? You don't think you'd be a casualty?
Read your comment section, honey,
you don't think you'd be a casualty?
I'm talking about.
You don't think you'd be a casualty?
Read your comment section.
You don't think you'd be a casualty to Shadow the Hedgehog?
I wouldn't.
Is your lived experience telling you that?
No. Is your lived experience telling you that you're a loser?
So wait, your lived experience isn't telling you that you wouldn't beat Shadow the Hedgehog? So how do you know you would beat Shadow the Hedgehog?
Shadow the Hedgehog isn't real, just like your fucking statements. How about that?
Yeah, so I think Shadow the Hedgehog would actually beat your ass. You know, like
you think, just like you think a lot of things that are not true.
Can you actually tell me what feats that you've committed that make you stronger than Shadow the Hedgehog? Because Shadow the Hedgehog got punched to the fucking moon and he survived pretty much unscathed.
I'm a living being.
What can you do if you got punched in the face and sent to the moon by Sonic the Hedgehog in supersonic mode? Would you survive that?
I've never done that.
I don't think you would survive that.
And it never happened to me because the bitch would never dare step to me, just like you would never dare step to me.
Could you do that? Could you do that, though? Could you survive? Could you survive a punch from Sonic the Hedgehog? Could you survive
a punch from me?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, absolutely, actually. Okay, absolutely.
No,
you ain't Shadow the Hedgehog, bro. You are not Shadow the Hedgehog. You are not Shadow the Hedgehog. You are not Shadow the Hedgehog, bro. You are not Shadow the Hedgehog.
No,
you ain't Shadow.
I'm a lot worse than Shadow the Hedgehog because I'm not. I'm real.
Again, you have no feats to prove.
And I'm really black. And he's fake black. How about that?
You know, honestly, I don't know if you're black, bro. I think Shadow might be blacker than you. Knuckles is blacker than you.
No, not only are you ignorant, you're racist.
Am I?
Yeah, you just made a racist comment.
Do you think Knuckles is black?
No, I have never any context on that.
Bro, Knuckles is black, dog.
You literally the racism just comes out of your mouth,
bro.
Easy.
No, I'm just recognizing the blackness of Knuckles.
The blackness, and you are the judge of blackness. That's wonderful.
Knuckles is absolutely black.
You are really helping yourself so good right now.
Yeah, Knuckles is 100% black, dog.
Sure.
Okay, I think we're in agreement there.
We're not.
You don't think Knuckles is black?
Knuckles is a fictional character.
Yeah, Knuckles is black, though.
Based on whose opinion?
Mine.
Yeah, and you are the judge of blackness. Wonderful.
I actually kind of am.
You're not, because you're not black.
I mean, I could be.
You're not.
Yeah, but if you don't think Knuckles is black, I don't consider you black.
And that's fine. That's great that you are the judge of that. I'm so glad I called your hypocrisy. Right here for everyone to hear. Hopefully,
I'm actually super consistent. I'm actually super consistent. Knuckles has always been
with
black.
your racism? With your racism and ignorance? Yes. Great.
Calling Knuckles black is like calling Snoop Dogg black. It's just an objective fact.
It's not an objective fact.
It absolutely is an objective fact that Knuckles is black.
It's not.
I would dare say, like, the Echidna Warriors are all black.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good for you.
Yeah.
So,
unfortunately,
you're
not because. Unfortunately, you're not because you're not on Team Knuckles, bro. But hey, power to you, 100%. All right, see you later, brother. Good conversation there. All right, I think that's enough debates for tonight. Do I want to play Fortnite? Yeah. Chat, do you think Knuckles is black? Here, let me put a poll. Is Knuckles black? There you go. Listen, in all seriousness, if you're going to say that there's a war in Afghanistan after complaining about the pullout of the war in Afghanistan, you're complaining about the war in Afghanistan ending, yet you're saying that you personally know based on your lived experience that there is a war in Afghanistan, brother, you are as serious as the conversation about power scaling Shadow the Hedgehog versus that motherfucker that I was calling with, okay? If you're going to say that serious, or if you're going to talk that dumb, right? If you're going to talk that silly, then you will be treated that dumb and that silly. Simple as that. Simple as that. That's all it is. Don't be silly. It's a simple fix. If you don't want me talking about Shadow the Hedgehog and power scaling you in comparison to Shadow the Hedgehog, don't say we're currently in a war with Afghanistan. Let's see the chat. Love the trolling. Voted no because dip. Do you have an option for who cares? Void Premium says, right. Silly goose moment for the caller. Nate, love you. Thank you. I love you. You can film all you want says, you lost. You're cool. Admit it. I didn't lose my cool at all. I thought that was one of the funniest fucking debates. That was hilarious. Do you think you can film all you want? Do you believe that there is currently a war in Afghanistan, that the United States is an active war in Afghanistan right now? That we're redeploying to Afghanistan after we pulled out? Silly is talking about Sonic the damn Hedgehog. No. I think it's historic. Frankly. I think talking about the race of Knuckles is actually serious shit. And if you can't recognize that it's serious shit, that's more on you, bro. Titan says SheTuber can't answer. SheTuber or Titan, ask your question. So Titan is kind of just blind, so I think I'm going to come back later. Hey, shout out to you, brother. Thank you for watching. The Void Pantheon says, that was hilarious. Best debate tonight. I agree. Titan says, is Sonic your lived experience? Yeah. I was actually there in the Green Hill Zone. I'm a bit of a poser. I'm not like my friends who've been into Sonic for so long. I just recently watched a Sonic movie, so Sonic's on my mind. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, serious shiz, because you know, serious, yes. So true. I'm low-key a poser when it comes to Sonic, bro. You know, being a poser when it comes to liking Sonic is like being a poser, like pretending to have autism. Titan says, SheTuber on the run. You asked the question, is Sonic your lived experience? And I said, yeah, Sonic is my lived experience. I actually was there in the Green Hill Zone. Host a Sonichu fan. I don't know if I can find those people. Robert says, Tails, my guy. Shout out to Tails. I saw an interesting theory that Tails is the reincarnation of Maria, because Tails is apparently a kitsune, and kitsunes apparently have tails for each life they lived, and he has 2 tails. So it would make sense that one of those tails represents Maria's life, one of those tails represents his current life. And think about it, Maria was homies with a hedgehog, and Tails is homies with a hedgehog. So in a way, if it is Maria, it's almost like she's almost like, not directly, not consciously, but subconsciously trying to be homies with Sonic. Almost like Sonic reminded her of Shadow You feel me? This person says, not inappropriate to bring up your Sonic experience in this forum. I can bring up a lot worse than my Sonic experience. This is my live stream. This is not like a civilized debate on television. This person says, your problem is Islamic, Muslim, and Arab, not other cultures. What the fuck are you talking about? We're talking about Sonic the Hedgehog, okay? Love the way Sonic is the most serious thing here. Also, why the fuck would some people fake autism and mental disability, something people struggle with? You know, some people do it. Some people do it. Wayne says, bye Felicia. This is the stupidest host ever. No war in Afghanistan. You're not even a joke. Life isn't anime, dip. Nah, bro, life is anime, bro. Watch Gurren Lagann. That's what I gotta say to you. Watch Gurren Lagann. This person says, Titan, if you can read this, if you can, tell me the question, cause you're currently giving me all talk and no game. I've tried to ask multiple times. Titan says, arguing with chat, keep the debate going. Sore losers, putting up smoke. Nah, I don't think we do any more debates, homie. I do want to play a bit of a game, though. I'm gonna play Tetris. Yeah. We're gonna play Tetris. Yeah. Tetris. Should have moved off that guy. Well, the last guy was hilarious. I'm so glad that I talked to him. He was funny as fuck. I'm not even gonna lie. Wait, I second that. You list your shit and let that guy get to you. You need to try to be the bigger guy. He didn't get to me at all, brother. It's funny as fuck. Okay? Oh, yes, this is a forum club, and we're going to be very civilized and professional. No, this is a YouTube fucking live stream, and I'm gonna bring up Sonic the Hedgehog. When someone says something so extremely stupid, so dumb, as we're currently at war in Afghanistan. Okay? Yes, I'm gonna make fun of that. Because it deserves to be made fun of. Let me make a new thing here. A new window for Tetris. And we're gonna go. I'm like setting up the OBS, okay? I'm doing streamer shit. That's what they say. Window capture. New. Tetris. There you go. And let me try to make it look nice. Hold on. Let me try to make it look nice. What the fuck is that ad? No. Alright, there you go. I'm gonna do it like this. Alright. I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna make it a little wider so I can see it a little better. And then I'm gonna go and make this bigger. And then I'm gonna take this and take this way. And take this that way. And do this. And do this. Alright, and we're gonna bring this a little bit down here. Right this way. Gonna expand it a little bit. Get the other side. Now we can maybe make it a little smaller. Uh-oh, did I drag something? I didn't want to drag something. Oh, crap, where did it go? I dragged me. Now stay there. Where is the Tetris? Okay, there you go. What? What the fuck? Okay, there you go. And we're gonna bring that. We're gonna make it a little smaller. We're just adjusting, folks. A little smaller, a little small bean. Small bean, kawaii small bean, bro. There you go. Pull it up a little bit. And then we're gonna go put this back in the corner here. Alright. Alright, let me check this. I want to, but I need a new gen console. YouTuber has TDS, but would Hamas destroy anyone regarding the... I mean, who is this guy? What was happening? I missed a lot of stuff. Random questions. Anyone tried out Marvel Rivals? I haven't, actually. Titan can't read. Thank you for your stance on autism. Shout out autism. I fuck with autistic people heavy. Autistic people are great. Some of my closest friends, very autistic. But good. It's good. Shout out to them. They say autism is a superpower. I agree. Alright. I want also, in addition to this, I want Tetris music, okay? Tetris theme song. The void, the burn, come on, TDS on, say it void. The void, that's the burn, don't worry, she'll catch up. I want to, but I need a new console, go away, Wayne. No one come for you. Wayne, I don't know what you think you winning, bro. Hold on, what Tetris song to use? Let's just do classic type A. Where's the basic ass type A, bro? Game Boy. Give me the Game Boy. I want like high quality. I don't see a lot of high quality looking videos. There used to be one specific video I used to go to. Oh, there it is. Okay. This I always knew was a decent quality. Alright, we're gonna lower it there. The Void says, I'm very autistic too, Lamau. It's a superpower because moral compasses and shit. Yes. Shout out to autistic people. I love the Sonic community. Alright, we playing. Oh, did I pause music? Hold on. Music, lower down. Because I got my own music. Alright, there you go. Now we gaming, folks. Yippee, Tetris, true. I'm doing kind of mid, but it's been a while. It's been a while, folks. Okay? I'm doing a little mid. Let's try to do better. Try to be slicker with it, you know? I'm locked in. I'm locked in. I'm locked in. I'm locked in, fam. I'm locked in, fam. Okay, I'm cooking there. I'm cooking. I'm cooking. I'm cooking. I'm cooking. I'm cooking. Am I cooking? Oh, I did not cook there. Fuck! Okay. My ass did not cook. My ass is not cooking. Okay, there you go. Hold on. We coming back. We coming back. We coming back. We are so back. We are so back. We are not so back. We are so back. We're back, but we struggling a little bit. But hardship is what makes the man. That was an accident. Fuck me. We are not cooking, chat. We are not cooking, bro. You guys ever seen that sand Tetris game? I want to try that. We're like clearing up. We're clearing up. We're fixing the mess. We're fixing the mess, folks. We're fixing the mess. Whew. No. Okay, we're cooking, we're back, we're so back. We are not cooked, actually. We are cooking. We are cooking. We are cooking. Hello? What? Oh, sorry, I clicked out. It's okay. We're good. Yo, what the fuck? I feel like when that sound starts playing, it sounds like a whisper. Kind of creepy, bro. Shadow the Hedgehog is here in this chat right now, watching me play. Oh, we cook so hard. Hello? Has anyone ever cooked this hard before? Holy fuck. Ain't no one cook like me. Nah, I'm not the best. But I'm on the come up. I'm gonna come up. But I did cook. Man, who beefing in the chat? Wayne's bitch ass. Fuck you, Wayne. Suck my dick, Wayne. You a bitch, Wayne. You bitch made. You got no bitches. You got no swag. You got no play. Hating on another player, bro. Fuck that shit. Broke motherfucker hating on other motherfuckers, bro. Be humble, bro. Be humble. I'll be all over you? What is happening, bro? What is this fruity shit happening in my chat? I'm down with all the gay shit, but like, out in the open, bro? What if there's kids watching? What is I'm all over you? What? What is happening, bro? Got a little freaky in the chat, bro. I didn't know Diddy was here, bro. Oh, fuck. Alright, I fucked up a little bit. Oh, keep that there. Alright. It's going faster, bro. It's going faster. Holy fuck. Holy shit. Oh, I cooked there. That was a save. That was such a save. That was such a save. Actually clutch. Oh, it's going too damn fast now. Oh my goodness. I want to score over 90, bro. That's what I want. Oh, I did not cook there. I did not cook. I'm kind of doing a little bit of fucking luckies. Holy shit. Ooh, cook. That was a nice move. That was a nice move. That was a nice move. Wow. That was not a nice move. I'm so locked in, you wouldn't believe it. Bro, why does that sound effect sound like a whisper, bro? It's creepy. Who did the sound design, bro? Okay, speeding up. It's gonna be. Oh man, I only planned to go to like. I was hoping for a high score of like 90,000. I'm at 151,000, bro. I'm so locked in, bro. You wouldn't believe it. I'm so locked in. Oh my god, it's like instant transmission. Oh my goodness. Oh, fuck. It's getting a little tough, folks. Uh-oh. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Damn, 200,000. Yo, where are the straight lines, bitch? Oh. Oh, that was a good run. That was a banging run. That was a really good run. That was an excellent run. Oh my goodness, bro. Oh my gosh, bro. That was a good run. Honestly, I could end stream right then and there. 200,000? First try? Excuse me? Hello? 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 Oh my goodness. Going back to the poll, folks. Is Knuckles black? Oh, I got rid of the poll. Oh, there it is. There's the results. Knuckles is in fact black. The funny number 69 has declared Knuckles black. Taking a picture of that. I'm gonna make a community post officially declaring Knuckles black. Knuckles rap. Y'all ever heard the Knuckles rap? Y'all ever heard the Knuckles rap? Y'all ever heard the Knuckles rap? You telling me this guy ain't a black man? He ain't just a black man, he's a proud black man. Okay?
Here I come, rougher than the rest of them, the best of them, tougher than leather. You can call me Knuckles. Unlike Sonic, I don't chuckle. I'd rather flex my muscles. I'm hard as nails. It ain't hard to tell. I break them down whether they solid or frail. Unlike the rest, I'm independent since my first breath. First test, feel the right, then the worst left. Born on an island in the heavens. The blood of my ancestors flows inside me.
Hold on, there's better ones. Hold on. There's better ones out there. This one, there you go. This is a banger. To deny that Knuckles is a black man is to deny the existence of black people and therefore extremely racist.
Tougher than Knuckles. You can call me Knuckles. Unlike Knuckles, I don't chuckle. I'd rather flex my knuckles. I'm hard as Knuckles. It ain't hard to chuckle. I break them down whether they knuckles. Unlike Knuckles, I'm independent since my first chuckle. First Knuckles, feel the knuckles, then no knuckle chuckle. Born on an island in the Knuckles. The Knuckles flows inside me. My doo-doo flows, streaking blood. Cleanse yourself. No. I will be the one that set your knuckles free.
Bro, why do you have to download the photo? I can't just copy and paste the photo, bro. So stupid. I'll post it later. This is how the guy that was debating me sounded, bro. He's screaming like that because he got fucking wrecked. Actually. With that, folks, I'm gonna end stream. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Stick around. Have the notifications on so that when I stream again, y'all can watch again. Y'all real as fuck. Thanks for watching. Signing off. Logging off.